Fantasy football fans, get excited. Week 8 is here, and it's a rare mid-season week with no buys. That means every player is available, which is great news for managers in need of reliable starters or bench fillers. With plenty of choice and potential for high-scoring performances, deciding who to start or sit can feel overwhelming. But I'm here to help guide you through the best plays this week. Starting with quarterbacks, this week is stacked with matchups where high fantasy points are possible. Look at Jordan Love of the Packers against the Jaguars. Jacksonville has been incredibly generous to opposing QBs, allowing the most fantasy points per game in the league. Love, with his consistent 270-yard games and frequent touchdown passes, is a solid start. Likewise, Kirk Cousins faces the Buccaneers, who just allowed 5 passing touchdowns in their last game. Given Cousins' recent 509-yard, 5-touchdown game against Tampa Bay, he's set to repeat a high-scoring performance. Running backs offer some exciting opportunities too. Jordan Mason of the 49ers could have a breakout game against a struggling Cowboys run defense, while Javonte Williams from the Broncos is expected to capitalize on the Panthers' weak run-stopping capabilities. Williams, coming off his best game of the season, is projected to be a top 10 running back this week. Wide receivers like Dontavion Wicks of the Packers should shine against Jacksonville's weak secondary, while Baltimore's Rashad Bateman is another great start against a Browns defense that recently gave up huge numbers to opposing WRs. Jalen Waddle is also worth a start, with QB Tua Tagovailoa returning for the Dolphins against Arizona's vulnerable pass defense. For tight ends, Dalton Schultz of the Texans and Noah Fant from the Seahawks look promising in their respective matchups. With the Bills' struggle to defend tight ends and Seattle's high reliance on passing, Fant in particular could see increased targets, especially with DK Metcalf likely sidelined. On the flip side, there are some players to avoid this week. Patrick Mahomes, a typically reliable start, hasn't been throwing touchdowns lately, making him a high-risk play against a solid Raiders pass defense. Similarly, it's best to bench running backs like Tony Pollard, who will face a tough Lions defense, and Chase Brown from the Bengals, who goes up against the Eagles' strong defensive line. Wide receivers like New England's Demario Douglas and the Cardinals' Marvin Harrison Jr. are also best avoided, given their matchups. In defense and special teams, look to the Chargers, Chiefs, and Steelers to deliver on points, with each facing offenses prone to turnovers and inefficiencies. These defensive choices could make a big difference in close games this week. With so many options, Week 8 is shaping up to be a high-stakes, high-reward fantasy week. Making smart, matchup-based decisions will keep your team competitive and, hopefully, bring a victory as we move toward the back half of the fantasy season. Good luck, and let's win this week. Stay subscribed for more videos.